Have you ever felt really stuck in your riding or in your training with your horse to the point where you actually begin to question everything? It feels like you're doing all the things, or at least you're trying to do all the things, but nothing is working. You just can't get off this plateau or this phase, this stage, whatever it is you're calling it. You can't get off of it. You can't move to the next level. Well, if you are, did you know that right now is the absolute perfect time to begin to make a commitment to get it unstuck, to get things moving again? I did this last year and I want to tell you about it today and maybe inspire you to do a little bit of this in your own life as you go forward into the next coming few months. Okay, let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Strides podcast. My name is Lorna Leeson. I'm an equestrian trainer and coach, and I work with riders from all over the world to help them to understand more about how they can use regular, consistent interactions with their horse to improve their skills as a rider, to improve their horse's training as well. Okay, today I want to really help you to get off that plateau. If you've been stuck on the plateau, okay, if you've been feeling, and maybe, hold on now, let's just go backtrack here. Maybe your plateau is that, yeah, Lorna, stuck on the plateau as in can't even get my leg over the saddle to climb onto the horse, okay? Like nothing is regular, nothing is happening. Well, today I want to help to get you unstuck. Last year, back at the end of last year, well, not at the end, around October of last year, I was feeling the same way. And the irony was that I had actually kind of set myself this little, I don't know, a little goal. I'd made a little plan. I'd gotten all excited way back in March, April of 2024. So this time last year, that I was going to just turn everything around. Okay, I had been feeling kind of fairly stuck and everything just like I was exhausted, tired all the time. I wasn't feeling very inspired. It just wasn't feeling great. Okay, it wasn't even feeling good. And I'd said, no, I'm going to turn this around. Watch this. Could you imagine my disappointment when I got to October? And I felt like I was actually worse off because now I was like really clear on all the things that actually weren't working. And it just felt like I was so far from anywhere that I really wanted to be with regards to doing things that inspired joy and that made me feel really good and that energized me. You know, all the things, okay? I know you know the things. Okay, anyway, so let's go into early November. And I just woke up on this random morning and was like, that's it. You know what? There's 90 days, I'm going all in. I don't know why. It was like the middle of a week. I think it was a Thursday. And I just decided that was day one. And that was it. I made myself a couple of very simple, basic rules. Okay. Now, the reason I made the rules was that I kind of knew that if I was going to do this, first of all, I'd set this 90 days, okay? I knew that I was going to have to start doing certain things and I was going to have to stop doing certain things. And I'm telling you now, my mind had so many issues with all of that. Like there was so many things. You can't do that now, and you're going to be depriving yourself of these other things, the things obviously that I was going to stop doing. And there's no way you're going to be able to do the things that I was going to start doing. And all of this nonsense. So that's why I said to myself, listen, we're going all in. 90 days. That's it. We're putting everything into 90 days. And if it doesn't work after 90 days, we don't have to keep going. But we are going to keep going for 90 days. And again, the reason I say this is because, first of all, it helped to shut my mind up and stop yabbering on in the background about all of the things that I could or I couldn't do and why I could or couldn't do them. But the other reason was because I know me very well. I'm sure you know you very well as well. And I needed to have goalposts. I needed something to keep me on track. And I'm going to be honest, those rules actually ended up saving the day, because as I got into my 90 days, and you always have this like great enthusiasm at the start, like you're winning, you're like, yes, let's do it. And this is going to be amazing. And, it was fantastic and it was wonderful. Yeah, kind of, 3 or 4 weeks in, that tends to wane a lot. And I found myself kind of in this kind of a pit, or in a trough, if you want, okay? A low point. And nothing was making a difference. Nothing really felt better. Nothing was measurably changing in anything. There was no difference. But because I'd set the rules, okay? My 90 days, and I had those, I think I had 3 or 4 really basic rules. I know one of them was no bread, no gluten, no wheat, nothing. Okay, that was one of my rules. Okay, I'd set these rules. But anyway, because I had these like really strict rules, and only a couple, okay, and I had the 90 day that I was like I literally had it marked on the calendar, like that's the end of the 90 days. Even when it seemed like nothing was working, and nothing working to the point where those close to me who knew I was doing this were actually saying to me, okay, you're wasting your time. Like, stop, find something else to do. This isn't working. But I was like, no, I said 90 days. I'm going in for 90 days. We're doing it for 90 days. Anyway, they actually carried me through, because it was only then when I got to, I think it was week 6. I know it was around my birthday. It was actually the day of my birthday, to be honest with you, that there was a change. There was actually a measurable difference. It wasn't just me thinking or feeling that there was a change. You could, like any person could have walked up and seen, yeah, no, that's changed. There's a difference. And I just felt so, I don't know, I felt so delighted with myself, first of all, that I kept going. Now, this was not a massive change, hey? But I just felt like, yes, I've done it. And not only that, I also felt that something shifted. And I know that sounds really weird, but it felt inside of me something had changed. And it gave me then this kind of renewed enthusiasm to keep going even further. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is because if you are feeling stuck and you're going to commit to 90 days, you're probably also going to reach those same kind of points. You're going to reach the point where you're thinking, well, this isn't working. Like, what's the point? It's not working at all. But I'm really going to urge you here to kind of trust things and to keep going. And if you feel at the beginning, this is always how I weigh things up. If I feel at the beginning, if I feel enthusiastic and excited, and I feel like it's the right things to do at the beginning, I then keep that in my mind. And I say, no, you felt that way, which means it was the right thing to do. This is just a little bit of resistance that's showing up in the middle. So I think it's really, really important to have that, to understand that, and to kind of know it before you go in that, hold on, things are not going to be peaches and roses. They're not going to feel this great, because remember, you do have that great kind of that kickstart of enthusiasm to get you going. It's not going to feel like that the whole way through. There's going to be days where it's raining. That happened quite a few days for me. There's going to be days where it's really hot. That also happened for me. Okay, you can see the weather plays a big part here. Okay, but seriously, there was going to be, I had my birthday, I had Christmas, I had New Year, I had all these different things. We'd holidays, all these different things that had come up. But because I had my rules in place and I had my endpoint was really important. I had my endpoint that made me able to stick to it and to keep going. And I tell you now, it was amazing. It just transformed and I say everything. It had a ripple effect on my whole life. And I just can't say enough. I've always said it. There's so many episodes. Go back through the episodes here of the Daily Strides podcast. There are so many episodes where I am encouraging you to use kind of 90 days, like a quarter, as this little piece of time where you get to really go all in deep on one area. And I'm just encouraging you again to do that, because we're actually at the end now. You know this. We're at the end of quarter one. We're going into quarter two. And I think that if you're no further along with your goals, if you've been stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again and it's not working, and remember, the same thing can be not doing the thing, like having the same excuse about not doing the thing. You're taking the same action. That is not getting into the saddle. That is not working with your horse, okay? Or it could be that maybe you have a horse there and you're just like, this horse does not understand what I'm saying to it. I don't understand what this horse wants. We're on two different pages. Keep going over and over and over and over. That is not going to change it. You have to try and figure out what is going on. And if you set that as your 90-day goal, you're going to see results. Another thing I see a lot is that riders, they hit a plateau in their riding, okay, or in their training with their horse. There's this, like, they get to this level and they cannot, for the life of them, it doesn't matter what they do, they cannot get off that level. They are like stuck. It's like being in, I don't play video games, but I've heard, it's like being in a video game that you just can't get past the thing and you keep dying at this one point, okay? That's how riders are feeling. Is it possible that you've missed something, that there's gaps either in your understanding or in your training or in your horse's understanding or your horse's training? There's gaps there that without those gaps being properly filled and that bottom foundation being really steady, it's going to wobble. So every time you try and get to the next level, it's too wobbly. You can't get there because of those gaps. 90 days is a perfect amount of time to go back, to figure out where the gaps are and to fill the gaps in correctly, to work on the areas that there are gaps in your riding and your training. Now, I know I sound very like, go on and go do it here. I sound a little bit like a sergeant major or something, but I'm encouraging you to do something, like to make a plan. Make April, May and June, as we listen to this, make those months count for you and your horse, quarter two. And if you're listening to this later, start today. Let today be day one. Do what I done. Picked a random Thursday in the middle of a random month with all of these obstacles, and I'm using air quotations, such as the holidays, it was my birthday, it was New Year's, it was all these things that were coming up. It didn't matter. I just picked it. I said, you know what? Tough. We'll figure it out when we get there. We keep going. Let's go. Crack on. And made it happen. I'm just really urging you, I'm encouraging you to crack on and make it happen for you and your horse. Now, if you'd like a little bit of help to do this, it's the first time I've ever offered this and I'm so excited about it. It's the Restart and Reschool private coaching. It's just a quarter. So it's for the quarter period. So obviously now, April, May and June, we'll be doing it together and I'll be helping you. It's personalized one-to-one coaching. We've got weekly horse riding lessons, virtual horse riding lessons together. We've got check-in. There's a private chat there that we chat to each other. Video reviews, you get recordings of the lessons, all of the thing. I'm so flexible with the scheduling. If you need to take a couple of weeks off in the middle, that is no problem. We can do that. We work around it. I know how life is. Listen, I've ran a riding school for 20 years. I get it. Things happen. Things crop up. Horses go lame. Work happens. Children happens. Life happens. I get that. So I've no problem being flexible with it. But if you need somebody there with you, pointing out what to do, how to do it, how to make it better, really and truly, I'm urging you to reach out to me, Lorna@stridesforsuccess.com, and I'll send you all the information. This could be absolutely the thing that transforms you and your horse's relationship going forward. I really think that to keep banging your head off the wall the way I was, okay, and you know all the things that are wrong, that's exactly where I was, and that was what made it so frustrating. I could see everything that I didn't like, that I didn't want, that I was thinking, why is it like this? This is nowhere near where I want to be. This is nowhere near what I want to be doing. This is not it. But then it was just that day making the decision. And I started really basic. Like, as I said, I think I had 3 basic rules. And that was it. I said, well, these are the rules I live by. 90 days, all in, living by these rules. And it transformed everything. So if you want to do it yourself, I'm urging you, do it. If you need a little bit of help, get in touch and I can help you. And I know so many riders are saying, but it's not the same. Virtual coaching's not the same. I'm telling you now, it is. It is just the same. You can ask any of the riders I work with. I was so hesitant about that as well. I thought, like, there's no way I'll be able to connect with riders on the same level. You can. We will. It is just the same. And again, I am as flexible as you need it to be for you to work with you and your horse. Okay, so you've 90 days, yeah? Whether you work with me, whether you do it alone, I want you to make a commitment, like do it. And I want you then to jump inside the group and tell me what you're going to do. You can find the details for that over at stridesforsuccess.com/group. Let me know what you're doing, that we can support you, that we can cheer you on. If you want, you can tell us your rules. We can hold you accountable as well. But if you want a little bit more one-to-one coaching, just drop me an email, Lorna@stridesforsuccess.com, and we can chat about it then. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you have an amazing quarter too. And maybe I'll be working with you throughout it. Okay, have a good one. Be good. Bye.